everybody, and welcome to Issaquah Buzz, where we talk about all things Issaquah and business gossip, from new restaurants to retail. My name is Autumn Monahan, and I work with the city's communications team, and I'm here with Jen Davis-Hayes from our economic development team. And today we're going to just talk gossip and business for a bit. So to start off, actually, let's talk summer. So what's on the calendar?
So the day after 4th of July starts the Concerts on the Green. Awesome. So that is a great opportunity to come on down to the community center area and bring a blanket, picnic lunch, or grab some takeout from a downtown restaurant.
There you go.
And just get ready to enjoy some really good music. So that is from 7 to 8:30 every Tuesday from the 5th of July through the end of August 23rd. So really excited about that. Parkadilly. So that's at Lake Sammamish State Park, and the Friends of Lake Sammamish put on this event for the last several years. It is a lot of fun. So this year it's actually a Seafair sanctioned event.
Awesome.
Say that a couple times fast. And so there are going to be a lot more promotion of it, throughout the region. But it is a great time to actually, they have music concerts, they have kids activities, and it's just really a lot of fun to come down to that park because it's something that is a hidden gem in the city. Mm-hmm. So that is going to be on July 22nd from 11 to 3. And so come check it out. I hear they are going to have a petting zoo and some other fun things. But that park is just a gem, and so it's always fun to kind of go there. And, of course, every Saturday from 9 to 2, we have our farmers market. Yes. So that is such another community gem that you can go there to pick up your produce for the week, your fruit for the week. But also they have food trucks there, so you can get some food to eat at the time. So again, that's across the street from Costco warehouse. So lots of opportunity to check that out. The Downtown Issaquah Association, they do a ton of events during the summer. So everything from gas station blues to the wine and art walks and so much more. So check out their website for all those dates and times. And so it's a really great opportunity to get out amongst your community members and enjoy safely things that are happening in the city.
I'm so excited for summer. Thank you for that recap. So let's switch to Issaquah business talk. And to start out, there are several just long-serving Issaquah business institutions, it feels like, here in Issaquah that have seen some change over as far as ownership. Can you kind of give us the down low of a few of those transitions?
Yeah. So, as a business owner, I think it's really hard to kind of say, okay, I'm moving on from my business.
Yeah.
But I think it's amazing that if you can find a family member that wants to take over, or you can sell your business, I think that's an amazing success that you've done. And so, because it's a 24/7, type of working world, and so stepping away from that is kind of stepping away from a family member and the employees you work with. Mm-hmm. So we've seen that there's new ownership at Fisher Meats, and so again, a long time. That's now, there was a long time Fisher family, and now it was sold to Chris, and now there's new owners there. Stan's Barbecue has new owners, and Flying Pie Pizzeria has new owners. And we've also heard that there's some family transitions happening. So where family members are becoming more involved in the business, at Triple X Root Beer, at Gilman Village for the property management, and at Bohm's. And so you're going to see multiple new faces, but you'll still see the folks that you've been working with used to seeing at those businesses. But it's really great to kind of have some people come in, and we look forward to kind of seeing how they keep the longtime favorites of those businesses, but also kind of, create some new things and new opportunities for business. So welcome to all those new business owners, and we are so glad for you to be part of our community.
Yeah, and to be carrying on such legacy of several of those businesses that just make Issaquah what it is.
Yeah. Decades.
Yes. All right, so transitioning to new business. So there's a lot of new businesses planned in the Issaquah Commons area. Can we talk a bit about kind of some transition that's happening over there?
Yeah, so I'm going to have to look at my notes because there are a lot of businesses coming. So already there is Fortunato No. 4 Chocolates. So you may have heard about them before because they have a location on Mall Street, and they were giving away free hot chocolate for anybody who wanted to come in.
I've seen the signs.
Yes.
Near Top Pot when you drive around that area.
Exactly. And so you could go in there and get free hot chocolate and a few of their products. So they've opened up in the Commons.
Oh.
So they're between Massage Envy and Simply Nails, like kind of around the corner from REI and Safeway. And so they're going to have a broader selection of chocolate. So for what I understand is they have organically grown cocoa from cocoa?
Cocoa?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. From Peru. Yes, cacao. That's what I was going to say. From Peru. And so it's a really sustainable business model that they are using. And so I encourage everybody to go check it out. So next up, Potbelly Sandwiches on the 25th of June, Pressed is opening. And so they are cold pressed juices as well as some plant-based foods. So like those smoothie bowls and other things like that. So again, all in that strip for there. And then in late fall or early winter, again, in that same strip there, we're going to see a Miss Saigon Kitchen, which is a Vietnamese restaurant.
Oh, great.
And we're going to see a place called Stretch Lab. And so that's a great addition to our sports medicine activities we have here in the city. And they have wellness services as well as assisted stretch sessions. And so I actually had a friend who went to a similar business, and so they actually have machines that help you stretch a little farther. And so it sounds interesting, right?
Sounds
but
lovely.
She said it was amazing. So I look forward to them coming to our community.
Yeah, and definitely aligns with Issaquah and all of the sports medicine activity we have here.
Exactly.
That's great.
Exactly.
Great. All right, so picking out one specific business, because I've been eyeing this location for a while and wondering what's going to happen.
Yes.
But I hear Tipsy Cow is coming to Issaquah. What's that restaurant? Where is it going?
Well, Tipsy Cow Burger Bar is the full name, right?
Okay.
And they have been looking for a location in Issaquah for 4 to 5 years.
Wow.
So it's very exciting. So I talked to them about a year ago, and they were looking at the Corner Bakery site, which is on Gilman,
Yes.
And but Corner Bakery's thinking about coming back, and it turns out that they had decided not to come back, and
Okay.
Tipsy Cow was right on it. So they just signed the lease. Just within the last few weeks. So they have great, from what I understand, great burgers, a good selection of beer, and just a really fun atmosphere. So it's going to be a great opportunity for us to, have another option to go out and enjoy good food. So they're in Redmond and Woodinville now.
Okay.
And so they're working on their tenant improvement permits. They haven't submitted them yet, but they will be, moving forward that process. And from what I understand, they don't need to do too much to the location, but they. So we're hoping that we'll get to see them, this year open, and grand opening celebration for the newest business in Issaquah.
Great. All right. So let's turn to Front Street. Last time we talked a bit about the new parklets along Front Street. But there's other streetscape improvements that are happening along Front Street that I know you've been really involved in and working on with several partners.
Yeah.
So what are some other things that we can anticipate in the future on Front Street?
Yeah, so streetscape, so the city looked at creating a plan in 2017. And so to really create improvements in there that kind of create a consistency along Front Street. So wider sidewalks, so more businesses can do outdoor dining, having bike racks, benches, planters. So one of the things that the community was most excited about during that planning process was the Alder Festival Street. And so that is kind of it is one block on either side of Front Street on Alder. So where the Subway and Domino's is, and Pelage and Vino. Bella. Yes. And so the idea is to kind of create a plaza areas that you can close off those two streets, but still keep Front Street open, and create more opportunities for art displays, for music, for tables for people to eat, right? So right now, the first phase, so this is only a portion of it that we're going to do, so there'll be more to come. But the first phase is to install what's called catenary lighting. It's like festival lighting, like on the strings, that look really cool. You've seen them in other places like Redmond and such. So they're going to be high enough over the street that, cars and trucks can still drive down during the week. But when you close it off, you light it up the street. It's going to be really beautiful. And then there's going to be a pathway mural that's going to go from Front Street to back to the Depot Park. So many people don't know about, again, the gem of Depot Park right behind Front Street. And so, and the pathway now is kind of a dead-ended sidewalk. So there's going to be the Arts Commission actually did a call for artists and selected an artist who's going to paint. It's going to be a stream painting, basically, on the asphalt mural. And so it's like you're going to be walking along little stones pathway all along the stream with salmon coming. Of course, we've got to connect to the salmon hatchery. And it's going to go all the way back to Depot Park. So you're going to have this feel of that area that's going to be a place you want to be and you want to walk down. Right now, it's the side of a road and, it doesn't look very inviting. So having that lighting, having some planter boxes, having that is going to create this real opportunity to kind of a place to want to be there. So construction to install the lighting is going to start the week after 4th of July.
Okay.
The artist is going to be here the last 2 weeks of July, and then the lighting will continue through August to be under construction. Now, weather can change this, right? So encourage our listeners to check out we have a webpage on our website about this, and you get an up-to-date timeline about this. But we're really excited, and the idea that during Salmon Days, during other activities that Downtown Issaquah does, or anybody else, we'll have an opportunity to really kind of showcase this new amenity in downtown.
That's great, and I love the idea of using art as a placemaking and as opening up kind of other spaces for people to explore.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see it.
It's beautiful on paper, and
great.
the artist is just really great. So I'm looking forward to seeing it in real life.
Very cool. All right. So I just saw on Facebook earlier this week a picture of a storefront that said that Mud Bay was coming soon to the Highlands.
Yeah.
And have you heard?
So it's coming soon. It's on the Grand Ridge Plaza website, but they're not there yet.
Okay.
So we're really excited for them to be adding a second location in Issaquah.
Yeah.
And so because the location in Gilman is super popular, and so don't have an exact timing on that, but so we'll see that be opening up in Grand Ridge real soon, and they're going to have a couple other openings that'll be good for the community, as we talked about in our last podcast.
Yeah. A lot of pets in Issaquah, so I think that they'll definitely have a customer base up in the Highlands.
Lots of COVID puppies, like I got one myself.
All right, so I teased this last time in our last podcast, but Hmart. And so I heard from you that there are rumblings that Hmart could be coming to Issaquah. Is that real or is it not?
Hmart purchased the Big Lots location. Yes. So Big Lots is behind Costco warehouse. It used to be Linens and Things, I think, back in the day. And so they have not been into the city yet to talk about what they want to do. But I have heard from some other property owners back there that they are considering how to actually increase the size of the store and or thinking about the layout to make the most products available to Issaquah. So it's still in a very, very infancy stage, but they own the building. So it is not a rumor. And we're very excited. I think that's going to be such a draw for that area. And really excited to see that open up as well. So it's going to be something we don't have in Issaquah or in this area.
Yeah. And like you said, open up that area that has not seen a lot of business activity in a while. So it's exciting that they purchased that property.
Our largest employers back there, Costco headquarters. And so they're going to have an opportunity, for a different shopping experience too during their day. So
yeah, that's true. They could go there for lunch. And I hadn't thought about that. All right. So I'm excited to say we had a question from a listener from last time.
Oh, great.
Yes. So what's going on with Egg and Us? So they suffered a fire last year.
Yes.
And, it's been cleaned up to a point, but it's still definitely just sitting there. And so she had a question of just what's next, and are they coming back, or is that just going to sit? Kind of what's the plan? Yeah.
Right. You look at it and you're going, okay.
What's happening? Yeah.
And this is the hard thing for businesses all over. You see a building, like you said, a sign, and it's like, okay, when? So the one thing about, especially with a fire, is that a lot of investigations had to happen, right?
Okay.
So you had quite a few, including from the property owner perspective, the business owner perspective. The insurance companies want to have really clear understanding of what happened and what they can do to not make it happen again, right? So that took a little bit more time, I think, than anybody wanted, because both the property owner and the business, Egg and Us, want to come back. The property owner has actually submitted permits, and so it's actually, and they're looking at doing some corrections to their permits right now and just resubmit them. But they're going to plan to rebuild at the same space, same size, and they want to bring Egg and Us back in there and I think Egg and Us was interested as well. So we hope to see that work, happening sometime later this summer to begin. But knock on wood, it's going to be again the same. It's going to look, a little maybe shinier, but it's the same size and bring back a beloved business. So I think you may know that the owners also own the 12th Avenue Cafe.
Yes.
So we're excited that they are still able to provide some yummy breakfast and brunch and lunch and dinner for us here in the community. But we would definitely love to have Egg and Us open again.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in our community are like, I know this, that we just don't have a lot of brunch options. So bringing back Egg and Us will just be wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Indeed.
All right, thank you so much for all the business intel, and thank you for joining us. Next up, we're now going to take a tour and do a business spotlight of Wall of Books, which is a new bookstore in town near Taco Time on Gilman. So let's see what they have to offer.
We sell all sorts of new and used books. We have a really great selection of children's books. We have a really large fiction section, and we also have many nonfiction sections. If there's something that you're looking for that we don't have in stock, we can order those books for you also. I used to be a high school English teacher, so I've always been very passionate about reading and literature and learning. My family moved to Washington a few years ago, and I decided now's a good time to start something new and to finally try to realize my dream of owning a bookstore. I've always loved reading. I was the kid who kind of got in trouble for reading and doing nothing else. I was reading in class when I wasn't supposed to be. The thing that our customers really enjoy is our trade program. We do trade used books for store credit. I think what customers really love about that is that they're able to give a new home to books that they're not using anymore. People don't like just throwing out books, and I think a lot of times people are really worried whenever they drop them off at donation centers what's going to happen to them, because people become attached to their books. But we're able to find a new home for them. Working with the city of Issaquah to get our business up and running has been fairly simple. We didn't run into any issues. We've been happy with how our store turned out. We're happy with everything. We love it here. We just want to be able to stay here and provide books to the community. There's a want in the community for bookstores, and I'm happy that we're able to fulfill that. And over time, with our trade program, the books that are in our store really reflect what the community's reading, which is really interesting. Most of our books come from people living in Issaquah. We have customers that come in and say, oh yeah, I remember when I brought that book in. It's just really fun.
Welcome back. I have to go to Wall of Books. That's on my agenda now for this weekend, and to bring my kids. Yeah.
And it's an Issaquah resident-owned business. Isn't that great?
That is wonderful. Great. That will also be nice just to support a local business owner.
Exactly.
So great. So that's a wrap on this edition of Issaquah Buzz. Thanks for joining us. If you have a question, or if you're hearing of some gossip that you want us to cover in our next edition, please email us at ed@issaquahwa.gov. Thanks again.
Thank you.